What's up, guys? Thought we'd take a look at a knife that there's about 1 million reviews online, but I thought I'd throw my 2 cents in on it. It's the Kershaw OSO Sweet. It's about a $20 knife off Amazon.com. Kershaw retails it for, I think, $40, so it's a good value knife. It's a cheap knife. It's something that you can easily afford to throw into your collection. First off, start with the steel. It's an 8CR 13 MOV steel. Not the best steel in the world, but it's something that you'd probably expect to find on a $20 knife. I believe they originally made this knife with OSO 6, and then they kind of changed the design a little bit. If you've seen an original, you know that the current ones do not look exactly the same to it. I believe they have the plastic that goes over the liner here, and the blade was ground just a little differently. It's kind of got a cool blade shape to it. It's more of a spear point blade. It is what it is. It's an everyday knife. I wouldn't say that it has one special purpose in mind, but it's a good everyday carry. It's a glass-filled nylon handle, removable Torx screws, which is kind of nice if you get it dirty in your pocket, you want to clean it out. It's pretty easy to do that. Nice pocket clip on it. I'm a huge fan of this pocket clip. It's probably one of the better pocket clips I think Kershaw has, besides Skyline. But it clips really nice in your pocket. I didn't have to do any bending on this one. A lot of times with these knives I have to end up cranking out this thing a little bit just so it slides in my pocket a little nicer. This one I like a lot. It carries fairly deep. You're going to have about that much of the knife sticking out of your pocket, which isn't too bad. It's not as good as some of the SOGs out there, but for 20 bucks, once again, I like it a lot. Mine has come loose on me, which isn't a big deal. Just tighten up the Torx screws. I carry it tip down. You have the option of carrying it tip up if you'd like. It's a 3-inch blade, so I know for a lot of people, a lot of states, that's important because that hits the mark for the legal size to carry. It's a fairly thick blade. You can see here I got the good old trusty Skyline. This is my favorite knife, so I compare pretty much everything I have to this knife. You can see it's quite a thick blade, which I like. It's good for prying. Skyline is a little dicey for prying. I was out ice fishing. I had to chisel out a hole with this, and I ended up prying it, and I bent the tip a little bit. Got it back, but if I would have had this one, I don't think it would have been much of an issue as far as prying and chopping the ice out. So the handle on it, I didn't like when I got it. I was a little disappointed. You can kind of see these scales. That's what the handle originally comes with, and they say it's really good for if your hands are wet or you're wearing gloves or it's slippery out. Those scales are supposed to be good for gripping. I hated them. I thought they were junk. Brutally honest with you, it was really slippery. So what I ended up doing, as you can see, is I stippled the whole knife in between where those scales were, and it kind of gave it a really cool look. Did it front and back. Backside I don't know if I would do again, maybe less, just because I can feel it kind of tearing my pocket up whenever I put it in there. But it grips really nice now. I would definitely say that would be the one upgrade that this knife could have had coming right from Kershaw, is having a little better texture on it. I've heard a lot of people like it. My personal preference is it wasn't for me. So it's got a lanyard hole on it. If you decide you want to put a lanyard on it, yet to find a reason to do that. But get back to the steel a little bit, or the blade. Out of the box, this is probably the dullest knife that I've ever got from Kershaw. It wasn't terribly dull. It was about as good as probably I could sharpen it at home. I'm not all that great at sharpening knives yet. To me, that's almost an art form in order to get a really nice razor edge on it. But I'll kind of touch this one up now a little bit, just because I've been using it. But it was not the sharpest knife, definitely, that I ever got out of the box. I was a little disappointed with that, but not a big deal. Like I said, once again, it was 20 bucks. It is a speed safe knife, so this thing flies open really nice, really fast. That is something that I don't really look for into a knife. I don't feel I need a speedy knife necessarily. I guess with a tactical blade or something like that would be nice to have. But just a regular knife, almost stabbed myself there. Regular knife, just having a nice thumb flipper and little wrist action. That is just as fast for me if I need to cut open a package or something. So, but speed safe is cool. It's cool to have. One thing I don't like about the flipper on this thing is, I don't know if I can get this to focus really nice, but the edge on this, you can see there it comes, that's a really sharp point. So when you dig your thumb into that, you can really feel it engage. So I intend to either take my Dremel or a file and just kind of round this edge off a little bit. One other little complaint I had with it. Knife has no jimping on the blade nor on the handle. It's got jimping on the liner lock, which doesn't do a whole lot because that's nearly recessed into the handle. You can barely see that it's barely sticking out, so it doesn't do a whole lot. So what I did is same thing. I took my wood burner, same thing I stippled the whole knife with, and stippled the backside just where your thumb rests is. You can kind of hear it here. That made a world of difference on the backside of this knife, and I did the same thing on the inside near where the liner lock is. Just kind of where your thumb and your finger rest, and that to me that was a huge upgrade on the knife as far as I was concerned. Other than that glass filled nylon being so slippery, I don't have any complaints about it coming right out of the box. So for 20 bucks, awesome little knife. Something definitely to add to the collection. It's something I enjoy every once in a while. I'll take this out and use it for a day or so and put it back home. That way I don't feel like I wasted my money on it, I guess. I don't know. However you justify that. So great little knife though. 3-inch blade like I said. I'll give you an idea. Size comparison. For anybody that doesn't have the Skyline, go buy yourself one. It'll be the greatest favor you ever did yourself. So Skyline OSO Sweet, and then you got the OD2. So just to kind of give you a rough size comparison. The thing I found interesting was Skyline's got an 1/8 of an inch bigger blade than the OSO Sweet, but the Skyline, according to the specs, is supposed to be shorter, but now that I'm looking at that, I think they're full of crap. So Kershaw, fix your website, because that doesn't look right to me. But whatever. No thumb studs on the blade. You can see that too. I'm just kind of jumping all over the place with this thing because everybody else has done a review on it, so why the hell wouldn't I? Made in China. Ooh, not American made. It's probably why it's $20. It's cool. Kershaw's supposed to have really good quality control, especially with their overseas operations. So one other thing real quick is a lot of people complain about where the blade rests inside the liner. Mine was resting up kind of like that, up against that liner, and every once in a while it kind of shifts its way back there, but I just find if you just take your thumb and bend it out, it goes right back. So you get a lot of seat there. It goes kind of slid over there a little bit, but it's not rubbing on the liner. A lot of people complaining about that. I think they just need to get off their high horse and realize that it's not going to be perfectly centered. You didn't pay 200 bucks for it, so don't expect the world out of it. But cool little knife. Go get yourself one. Amazon.com. Like I said, if you buy that, spend 25 bucks, you get free shipping. Can't beat it. Comes to your door. Gotta love it. I haven't really found them in stores. Not where I live at, so that might be the only place that you can find it. But yeah, check it out. I definitely recommend the stippling. Once again, I know it's kind of a tactical feature thing to do to it, but it really does make a difference. So there it is, guys. Kershaw OSO Sweet. Hope you liked it. I'll talk at you later. Almost stabbed myself. I did stab myself. I think this is the only knife at this point that hadn't drawn blood on me, and I caught it on camera. Cool.